Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I am so excited for today's conversation, and I'm not flying solo today. I have a fantastic co host today. His name is Brandon Montgomery. He is our very own ISA, which is short for Inside Sales Agent for the ISG Property Collection. Welcome, Brandon.
Hey, thank you, Dennis. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to dive into today's topic. As an ISA over the last 5 years, I really get to work with leads every single day and have learned a lot about what it takes to convert them into clients. It's really all about persistence, strategy, and using the right tools.
I love it. Love it. So let's dive in here. So, what's our topic of conversation today, Brandon?
The topic today is the power of persistence, how every new lead is an old lead. Let me explain. Here's a stat that might surprise you. It takes an average of 6 to 24 months to convert a real estate lead. And that means the leads you've talked to over the past year, the past 6 months, who didn't respond to a call or a text or an email might actually be ready to convert today or really soon, only if you stay on top of those leads. A lot of agents make the mistake of thinking that a lead is dead after just one or two attempts. We know that 44% of agents only make one attempt to a lead. And we know that after 3 attempts, 80% of agents drop off. No more contact. It's a dead lead. It's a cold lead. They throw it out. And so just because someone doesn't respond immediately doesn't mean they won't be ready at some point, as the stats say, over the next 6 to 24 months. It's really all about persistence, staying in front of them, being consistent until they are ready to make a move.
I love that. I love that. And what I know about business is the numbers don't lie, right? So let's talk about numbers. Most agents only convert 1% of their leads.
Yeah.
1%.
Yep.
They follow up once or twice, don't hear back, and assume that the lead is done.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the top agents are converting at a high percent, 10 to 12%, simply because they stay engaged over time. Is that what you're experiencing?
Yeah, really, the magic is in the follow-up. As you said, the 44% of agents are done after one, and yet 80% of conversions happen between the 5th and the 12th follow-up. And
Wait a minute. Say that again.
Yeah, so
Wait a minute. 44% of agents give up after one follow-up. But 80% of conversions happen when?
Somewhere between the 5th and the 12th. Somewhere between the 5th and 12th. And so, I make it a point to stay in contact, multiple touch points. We have a strategy, whether it's call, text, email, until we've given that lead the full attention that it needs. And we always, reiterate, work every lead to its end, right? And so if the average agent is converting at 1 to 2%, the statistics tell us that out of a list of 100 leads, if the average agent is getting 1 to 2, we know statistically that 10 to 12 on that 100 are actually going to convert in the next 24 months. And so someone else that is staying on top of those leads, working those leads with persistence and consistency and strategy, is going to take that additional, 8 to 10% that another agent, an average agent, is just not going to do.
So let's imagine this. Let's just say we get 200 leads per month.
Yep.
And that's pretty consistent for a top level team, right? So all from buyers, sellers who've shown interest over the last 3 to 24 months. These leads are still out there. They're just waiting for the right moment, right?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
what would be the key to staying in front of them consistently over those, let's just say, 24-month period of time?
Yeah, it's really about bringing value to you and what you're providing differently than all of the other agents that are sending text messages and phone calls and voicemails. What is different? What sets you apart? Why should they listen to you? And so it's about providing that value consistently, and really about specific value to what they are looking to do, right? So if it's a buyer and they come in looking in a specific area in a specific price range, your touch points consistently can really target their need. And if you're sending them things, from 2 counties over, they're going to dismiss you. So it's the consistency, the persistence, and being really strategic and targeted in what you're sending. Keeping that information relevant to that specific lead is what's going to keep them engaged over that decision-making process, whether it's a 6-month process for them or a 24-month process for them. And so you can't just let them sit in the CRM without really strategic nurturing. Software systems like Fellow, Command, other tools can help keep track and really send that information efficiently over that period of time while you're nurturing.
I love that. Love that. How can we secure and convert these leads over time? Walk me through some of your processes that would convert at that 10 to 12%.
Sure. So, first and foremost, having a specific call and text pattern that you follow day in and day out, no matter what. And so I always, I have a call and text pattern that I'm following every day. Every phone call with no answer gets an immediate text message, right? And if I call that number and it goes straight to voicemail or something, double dial, call them again. Call them a third time if you need to. Again, it's about setting yourself apart. If I don't get a response, like I said, I'm going to follow up again tomorrow. I'm going to follow up every 24 to 48 hours in that call pattern and text pattern, following that every day to get in touch with that lead. And then using Fellow. Fellow is a fantastic tool that we have found to be able to really increase our conversion ratio. And so utilizing Fellow for home valuations, market updates. Sellers love knowing what their home is worth. Even if they're not ready to sell today, they love knowing what their home value is. And so
and they love knowing what the neighbor's house sold for, or, their
absolutely,
their old previous house, what it sold for, right?
Absolutely. They want to know what's going on in their neighborhood. They're trying to determine the right time to make a move. And so getting that personalized dashboard in their hand where they can keep a beat on what's happening real estate wise in their neighborhood and with their own home, it is bringing a lot of value to a lead. And then ultimately, being the agent who stays in touch. These leads will convert. Statistically, we know that, like you said, that the numbers do not lie. And so we know that these leads will convert if you keep engaging strategically, consistently, persistently over time.
Wow. Yep. So let's look at the financial impact of these follow-ups, right? So let's break down some financials. Let's just say we're working on the 200 leads per month and you convert just a 1 to 2%. So you're looking at what? 2 to 4 closings per month, right?
Right.
So with an average home price, let's just call it $270. That's an average of $8,100 in commissions per closing. Right. So Brandon, imagine that over the course of the year. That's anywhere from $194,000 to $388,000 in commissions.
Yeah, that's a game changer.
Yeah,
for most agents. And that's being able to get to a place of average, right? If they could just do 1 to 2,
that's average. That's 1 to 2%.
That's average. 10x that as top agents do. Now you're talking life-changing money for agents. And so, here's the thing. It's not just about converting these leads today. That's not where the dollars are coming from. It's about setting up a steady flow of business, right? Where you can project your income. You know what's coming in over the next 60, 90 days, 120 days. You can start to see that over a calendar year and really project what you're looking to do. And when you consistently are working with these leads, and when they're ready, you're there, follow-up equals higher commission, right? Follow-up equals more money in your pocket. It's going somewhere, right? That these dollars
Yeah,
are going to somebody. Why not you?
I love that. So, why do you think this is so difficult for sales agents?
I think one, in sales, individuals tend to be instant gratification, right? We want what's right in front of us. If it's not there, we want to, chase the next one. I think that's part of it. And that's really probably even more of a mindset shift, understanding how real estate leads work, knowing that when you receive a lead, whether it's text message, email, and you were to pick up the phone and they were ready to list today. Let's say they said, absolutely, we're ready to sell. Come list me this week. They have been on someone else's lead list for the past 6 to 24 months.
Wait a minute. No, my database is only in my database. Not in anybody else's database. We know that that's a lie.
Yeah, if they popped up today and they convert today, it kind of reinforces that false mindset to an agent that, only, the leads that I can pick up and call once and are going to convert are the only good leads. What's happened is another agent has had that lead over the last 6 to 24 months and has not followed up, has not been persistent, consistent, done their daily strategy, call pattern, and text, or it would be theirs. And so you've taken your unfair share. You almost got a little lucky on getting a lead in a one call. You have to look at it, though, as if you have a list of 200, there's 24, 20 to 24 on there that are going to convert. Do you want someone else 6 to 24 months down the road doing what you just did to another agent?
Love it. So let's take it up a notch. So give me some creative ways to reconnect and convert some of these leads. Because look, I've been in the industry for 19 years and I've worked many, many, many leads. I've been that agent where I'm going to chase shiny objects, instant gratification opportunities. And I know that, there's gold in the backyard. I know that if I focused in on my database and the leads that came in over the last 24 months, I could probably get some business and quite frankly, enough business to meet my goals. Give us some creative ways to possibly reconnect or re-engage with some of these opportunities.
Sure. I think it's pretty common, right? One of the first things an agent will say is, we just need more leads. We just need more leads. And like you said, working what's in the database currently, in these ways that we're discussing is where you have everything that you need to build the lifestyle that you want with all of the leads in the database in front of you. And so it's about that daily, call and text pattern, and then getting creative outside of that. Again, these are, we want to set ourselves apart. We want to be disruptors, right? If they're online filling out information about selling their home, you can bet they've put it in multiple places. They're getting calls from, 15, 20 different agents across the area. And everybody is typically saying about the same thing, right? We can net you top dollar for your home. Well, what agent's not telling them that?
Right.
We can get your home sold in the next 30 to 60 days for top dollar. Okay, they've heard it. So these are some ways to kind of disrupt that pattern and make sure that what you're sending out, it kind of shines above everyone else. And so the first way is, we call it a curiosity bomb message. And that's a way to really spark interest with a quick, intriguing message, right? Hey, we just sold a home in your neighborhood for X above listing, or it sold at listing with multiple offers in 30 days or in 2 weeks. Would it make sense for us to chat about yours? Hey, we just helped a buyer get into their next home in the exact same price point and area as you without overpaying. Would it make sense to have a quick chat? Something that piques their interest that's really specific to why the lead came in, right? If they're a seller lead, not sending a buyer message yet until you know that they're a buyer as well. Finding a piece of that lead that's important to them and sending a quick text message, a quick voicemail, that makes them think, I have to call that agent back. They have information that I need. They just helped a client in my situation do exactly what I'm looking to do. I need to call them, not anyone else.
Yeah, I love
That.
one of our curiosity bombs that I like to use, especially for buyers. It revolves around interest rates, right? So interest rates right
Right.
now are what? They're high. They're
Yeah.
they're high, and people's perception is that the interest rates are high. On average, over the last 30 years, it's spot on. It's right where it needs to be. So curiosity bomb message around interest rate is, hey, Brandon, I'm not sure if this is for you. And yet we just helped one of our clients secure a 5% interest rate on their new home. Is that something that would intrigue you or interest you?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you're setting the hook, pulling them in.
What buyer doesn't want to get in at a 5% rate currently?
Right.
Right.
Yep.
You're creating.
And here's the thing: are brand new home builders offering that opportunity?
Yep, it's
100%.
And so why would they want to miss out on that? Why would they? No, I'm good. I don't want to save a couple points on interest. And so you're creating that fear of, hey, someone else is getting a better deal than me. I need to talk to this agent specifically and find out how they did that and how they can help me do that. So it's curiosity, this curiosity bomb, this quick, short, doesn't have to be a long explanation, because you don't want to give all of the info in that message. You want them to come back to you and find out what you did and how you can do that for them. So that's the first, kind of creative way that we utilize in our strategies. The second is the VIP access offer. We want to give them exclusive access, right? Hey, I see that you're interested in buying a home here in this area. Would having a list of off-market properties or recent price reductions be helpful? Off-market properties, what's that? How do you find those? Everyone knows and everyone's looking. If it's a buyer, then it's, this, they're already online looking at everything that is listed.
Yeah, they already know the inventory. Yeah,
they know the inventory. If you have access to inventory that they don't have access to, that again is creating a fear of missing out. Oh, we haven't found anything online that we like. This guy has some options that we can't see without his help. We can't see without her help. We need to get in touch with them.
Would it make sense for us to put this off-market property in front of you?
Yeah.
Right. So that's the VIP experience. And we all want that, right? So as social butterflies as we are, we never want to be left out. So having that VIP access to something that gives us a leg up or an opportunity, I think everybody wants that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the third one is a home valuation kind of challenge, if you will. And so what we do is send a text message, short, quick. Hey, want to take a guess of what your home is worth? ? And let them tell you, hey, I think my home is worth X. Okay. Do you want me to send the current number over? See how close you are. Right. So we're engaging them in a little bit of a different way. It's trying to really make it a little more fun for them and a little more light. And so, hey, what do you think your home is worth? Want to take a guess? We'll see how close you are. I'll send you the current number over after I get your guess.
I love it.
Everyone has an idea in their head of what they think their home is worth. Sometimes it's low, often it's a little high. And yet engaging them in that way and getting the conversation started, right? Because the goal is we want the conversation. We want to make contact. We want to start the relationship with that lead. And so these are ways we just want them to respond back to us. And then, you can follow up. Here's the number. You send a Fellow link, right? You send that URL that Fellow provides. It's got a photo of their home right there in the text message. They click it, they go to their dashboard, and now it's, hey, sent you the numbers. You were really close. what do you think about the numbers? Too high, too low, just right? And you can start to get and engage in that conversation to start to find their motivation out of that.
I love that. So say that again. Too high, too low, just right.
Or just right. And get that response back, right? Too high. Oh, okay. Well, tell me why you feel like your home would sell for less than that. Too low. Oh, okay. What improvements or renovations have you done that increase the value of your home? Just right. Okay. So that number is exactly what you were thinking. Fantastic. Out of curiosity, what has you thinking about your home value? What has you checking out the dashboard, looking at market activity, seeing what's going on around you? What has you thinking about making a move? Right now, you can start to pivot to motivation. Why is that number important? If they said too low, well, what number? You said X. The real value shows here. Again, what improvements, renovations have increased value, and what's important about that number to you? Let them start to tell you why they're looking to make a move, why they came in as a lead. You can start to build the motivation, and that's a game changer when it comes to leads. Once you can secure the motivation, you can work that lead and get it converted in the right time.
Love it.
Number 4 is what we call pick one follow-up. The goal is to make it easy for them to reply to you by offering options. And so one of the things, Dennis, that you have taught us consistently is talk to a lead and put them in a box. Provide 2 or 3 options, get them in that box, and then work the lead specifically from the box that they chose. And so what we do with these messages is get them out via text, and it's, hi, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Buyer, it looks like you're interested in making a move. Where are you at in the process? A, just looking. Well, you can put the Google eyes emoji next to it,
Yeah.
B, considering buying or selling soon. C, I have some questions, and we put the little thinking emoji next to that. Let me know, and I'll send you some helpful info. This one has been a message that we've gotten out that has gotten the most replies. They come back quickly, A, B, or C. Some will put B and C. And then it's, again, now we're getting to motivation with it. Okay, so you're looking for some helpful info. What information is going to best help you make a decision? Why? Why are you thinking about making a move? You said considering buying or selling soon. Cool. That's great. What has you thinking about doing that? We want to start to get to that motivation. And this one is a great tool to get a reply back, so you can start building that, again, relationship with the lead, knowing the motivation, getting them in a box, getting them in the box that they fit in, and then moving forward with that lead specifically, strategically, consistently, and persistently until they are ready to convert. So
love that. Yeah. And putting them in a box, what I've learned over time is it gives you a baseline to start from. Right. So
yeah.
if they select A or B or C, I'm not emotionally attached to whatever answer they choose. That just gives me a baseline to now further that conversation. Does it make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And if you'll notice, there's not an option on there that says go away. There's a few options there, and we're kind of forcing them to select one. So even if it's just looking, it's a follow-up of, oh, cool. What has you checking out homes currently? I know you're just looking, understood. What has you interested in homes? Do you just like taking a look, or are you considering something in the future? You can start that conversation. So there's definitely not a go away option. We're going to we want them to choose a box that we can begin to work with.
Yep. I love that.
So number 5 is the surprise gift tactic. And this is one that is, if you're farming a neighborhood, or you have a specific group of homes that you want to be that go-to agent in that neighborhood on that street, because this one is going to require some dollars, not a ton, and yet is going to require some dollars. And so it's, dropping a note in the mail with a $5 Starbucks gift card, or some kind of small gift card, and just a quick note. Hey, while you're considering possibly making a move, have a cup of coffee on me. Would love to talk about your plans. I mean, I know if before I was in real estate, if I would have got a surprise gift and someone, that would be a disruptor. That would be a set them apart from everyone else that's calling and texting.
Yep.
Shows that it took some time, it took some investment, and it took some real thought into getting that note over. And so
I love that.
The surprise gift tactic, again, is going to be something you're going to want to use more strategically when you're really targeting a certain sector of leads or a certain neighborhood that you're really wanting to work. And yet the benefits of that could be exponential.
I love that. Yep. So I know that we just shared 5 great opportunities, creative ways to reconnect and convert some of these leads. If you are wanting some more of these, Brandon has put together some aces in the sleeves, some great follow-ups and conversion opportunities. So see the notes below, and we'll make sure to share those 12 additional tactics that you can put in play and convert higher than that average 1% to 2% real estate agent. So I love that. People love feeling special, Brandon. Yep. They love it.
Yep.
And these creative approaches keep them engaged. You got to stand out from the crowd and keep their attention. Now, with that being said, your attention has to be focused, right? So we talked about, how, these aren't instant gratification leads. If one pops and they come in and they pop, just understand that that's not the norm. The norm is that they sit underneath a heat lamp for 6 to 24 months. Right. And then they say, hey, by the way, I'm ready to go. You just so happen to catch the egg cracking and the chicken hatching, right? So I love that. And I know that these work, obviously, because we've done it over time. All right. So Brandon, how do we sum up today's conversation that allows agents to really grasp and move them forward?
Yeah. To sum it up, success in real estate is not about getting new and more leads. Again, every new lead is an old lead. And so when one does come in and it pops that day or that week, and you're feeling that excitement and that energy, remember that's been on someone else's lead list for the last 6 to 24 months. It's not a new lead. And so really success comes from working the leads that you have consistently, persistently, strategically over time until they are ready to convert. That's really how you go. If you're not at the 1% to 2%, that's how you start there. And if you really want to take it up to the 10 to 12%, like top agents, that's what it takes. It's the consistency and persistency over time. There's often so much hesitation about, am I doing it right? Am I saying the right thing? There are tools and scripts for that. What your part is the commitment to doing it day in and day out. I've often heard in ISA circles, the most successful ISAs or agents are those who are willing to hear no the most times and continue the process.
Love it. So the real question is, how many no's are you going to hear today? How are you going to move your business forward, being more persistent in your lead generation and your follow-up, and creating such value that you earn the right to be in business with your clients? Yeah. Brandon, thanks for joining us today. We so appreciate you, not only as a rock star ISA on our ISG property collection, just being insightful and knowledgeable around this subject where many, many, many people just can't grasp the opportunity that lead generation offers. So, man, I appreciate you.
Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate you.